Hello and welcome. I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and this is building the Terminator T800. This is issue 11, so we're getting there, well into double figures. We're slightly into double figures. This issue we have some new bits. We've got some neck. So let's have a look through and see. We're doing some things with the lower jaw as well. Some neck and whatever it calls that, neck joint. Neck and neck joint, basically. I see the camera's a bit high. Let me just shift that down a touch. There we go. Let's come out a bit. Why not? Get a bit more view of what we're doing, so I don't have to worry about not being on camera for most of it. Right, so we've got some screws, some bolts, some longer screws, and some bits which do appear to be plastic. Let's have a look. Let's fold that over so we can see what we're doing and how we're doing it. Right, we've got. Find the neck section. Well, it's not difficult because it's right here. You'll put it to the next side. You'll need it. You'll next need it in issue 13, which I've got over there. So we'll be coming back to that soon. It is a plastic piece, but you know, I've given up moaning about it being plastic because it happens. It's already happened, and there we go. So we've got that. We've also got two little bits in here, which I'm going to be careful not to lose. I'm going to put them up the top there, just out of the way, so they're not getting knocked over. Checking to make sure there's no other loose bits in there. There aren't. Let's lose that. So we've got a pack of screws, two more plastic pieces. Let's open the screws and see what we're dealing with today. While I'm doing that, I shall mention I do have a Patreon page even, where you can subscribe and get some exclusive videos and content and things. Check that out. The link is in the description below as well. As well as finding me on Facebook and on YouTube, but you know about the YouTube one because this is where we are. Right, so we've got 3 of them and 4 of them, so we'll keep them to one side. We're using the longer ones in a little while. First up, we're going to use 3 of the 4 because you always get one spare. It's quite nice. They give you the screws when you need them, and they give you 1 extra of everyone. So there we go. Right, they go in there. The inside parts have raised where it fits in, so it's quite nicely made. That's going to go in there like that. And we're basically putting in the 3 screws into the 3 screw holes. Let's see, is this magnetised? A little bit. A little bit's all we need, so there we go. As ever with these screws into plastic, be careful not to over tighten them. Make sure you get them in the right places, and it's always best to put in, maybe it's not magnetised quite enough, it's always best to put in one of the screws a little bit and not tighten them down fully until you've got all of them in the right place, so you know everything's lined up quite well. On this build it's not too bad actually, because the bits do actually fit into little location spots. So let's see, that's got the 3 of them all in, so I'll tighten them all up sort of one bit at a time, not going silly tightened, just tightened so you can feel it bite and not come loose. So let's try that. That feels like that's biting in there. Get that side down as well. This is obviously just holding these 2 halves together, so it's not got any strain going through it. I can go a little bit further than that because I've still got a little bit of movement there. So let's get this one done up all the way. I haven't tried. Let's have a quick try. See if the screwdrivers they give me actually fit. Nope, too big. And the big ones aren't going to fit down the tube, so they're not going to be of any use. So yeah, once again they failed with the free gift of the screwdrivers. Was a lovely idea and much better than being a rubbish gimmicky free gift that you're never going to use. But it turned out to be a rubbish gift that you're never going to use because it just doesn't work in this build. I mean, they're fine. The screwdrivers aren't anything special. They're cheap, but they're all right. But they're no good for this particular build because they're too big. They don't go far enough. Ah well, there we go. Right, so we've got that completed, all of them done. Put it safely aside until needed in a later issue. So yeah, we won't be using that quite yet. Now there's obviously a big seam line down there, but being plastic, I'm not sure what we can do about that, or if it's necessary. It might be internal, well, it's obviously internal, but might not be that visible. So we'll have a look and see. Right, what we have now, we're taking the lower jaw, which I cunningly had prepared earlier, and the black bit. Now this one, it looks like it doesn't fit. It looks like it's too big, but cunningly it isn't, because this is actually undercut slightly. So as long as you get it lined up the correct way, when it goes in, the bits locate into there, and the pins on the outside of that locate into there, and it fits snug but nice, and it's not bent in or at a funny angle. So that actually goes in there quite nicely like that. And then we're continuing with the lower jaw, which we have here as well. Paying special attention to these bits, I think, by the looks of it. Screw holes in either side. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. So now we're using these two longer ones and the two other bits, which, I don't know, some sort of strange washer. Right, the two parts of the jaw are connected, as you see there. Let's just have a look. You'll also need the two brass bushes, that's what they are, and two long screws. So we're putting the screws through. Let's go from here. There are grooves on either side of the part. Oh, right, it's fit into the screw sockets. Okay, so the bushes go in first from the outside, and then the screws go in from the outside through into this, which lines up with that jaw piece. Right, okay, so we've got that to go through there like that. That just covers the plastic bit, and then again it feels too tight, but these bits have actually got a little bit cut out as well. So as long as you get it lined up through the right bit, it fits in snug and nice. So that goes in there, and then we use one of these long screws through there, hopefully lining up just nice into that middle bit, so I can feel that tightening into something. So that looks okay. So again, I'm going to turn over and do the other side now without tightening up the first side, to make sure that it lines up properly before things go too far. So yeah, that's not quite lining up right, so let's have a little wiggle. It's sort of lining up, but feels a bit tight. Yeah, not happy with how that's going in there, so let's undo it, let it reseat itself and try again. No, still not happy with how that's going in there. So let's have a quick look, make sure that is okay. I'll try using the other screw, because it might be just that the thread's not finished properly on there. It might be that the thread's not finished properly on the jaw bit. So yeah, that's not going in there quite as happy as I would like. So I'm going to take it apart again, see if I can get it tightened up in there, and then come back and see how we're doing. Right, it's this bit that's suffering. I've just put the spare screw in there, and it does up more than enough and feels fine. But if I try and put it in the other side, when I get it out, it starts off fine, but very quickly binds up and doesn't really want to go. So I'm just going to try and force it through a little bit. If you turn it in and then go back a little bit, so go in a turn and then go back half a turn, that should free up any loose bits of badly finished thread or dust and dirt that's in there, causing it to bind. So hopefully that will now work fine in there. So I'm going to use that screw because I know that screw goes into it rather than playing around with another one, because I might have, say, tidied up the thread on that a little bit as well as tidying up the thread in the jaw piece. So let's get that on there and try again. It was this side. So we'll drop that bit in there, we'll drop that in there, and we'll start off with this side. Yeah, that feels much nicer going in there, but I'm still not going to tighten it all the way until I get the other side in as well. There we go. So let's tighten that down now. And there we have a hinged jaw. Cool. That's that. I assume next time we're going to be fitting the top head to that as well. But that says stage complete. So let's get the 2 screws that we've got spare out of the way. Bring back the other bits, and that's what we've got so far. Didn't have to do anything with that, just supplied it, which is fine. You're not always going to be using all the bits that you get. Let's have a quick look through the magazine and see what else it tells us about. Children of Men. I don't know that film. Not seen that one. It's just about the film. There we go. History and future of the human population. Population's a very scary thing. It's going up very, very quickly. There we go. And then we have the traditional "We'll be back." Next week's issue. A muscle of the Terminator's forearm. That'd be quite interesting. So yeah, see you soon for that. I'm going to put these bits aside because it looks like we're doing forearm next week. So won't need any of that for now. Thanks for watching. Stick around for the next video. It'll be up, if it's not up already, it'll be up in a couple of days. So see you soon, and bye bye.